All right, cool. Ladies and gents, good evening. Thank you very much for coming along. I'll try and keep this as brief as I can because, of course, we've got Natty G and the Panorama for our music bingo this evening. So this is for tomorrow, but I don't feel I can go to tomorrow without first just acknowledging again Greasefjord and Larry. Obviously not present, but thank you for the round of applause for Larry. It was really wonderful, I think, for us all on board the vessel this morning. And everyone came back from their community visit smiling, so I trust you guys had a good time this afternoon. That's great. I also want to say a big thanks to the expedition team, especially the catching team. That was what we call the boat wranglers. It was probably the most challenging conditions we've had on shore this voyage for sure. So yeah, the dry suits were on, and there was a few dunkings there. So yeah, thanks to those guys. So on to tomorrow, of course. Don't laugh. So, at lunchtime today, just as Larry and our guests were sitting down to their fried chicken, which I hope you guys also enjoyed, I got a radio call to the bridge. You've probably heard that once or twice. Expedition leader, a bridge. I'm like, oh dear. So I go up and Captain was there. He says, Colin, email. It is not good news. So this is the email. Dear Master of Ultramarine, this is from the Canadian Coast Guard. The icebreaking officer sends, as per August 30th, etc., ice chart, ice pack, including 6/10 of old ice and 1/10 of thick first year ice, was expected to drift 5 nautical miles south-southwest toward Devon Island. However, as per satellite imagery taken today, the ice pack is further south than expected and is now about 10 nautical miles from the coast of Devon Island. As there is a possibility that the pack ice drifts further and blocks Lady Anne Strait, which is where we're heading now, we recommend to ships in Jones Sound to exit the area while possible. If you decide to stay in Jones Sound and are trapped by ice in the area, the Canadian Coast Guard will not be able to send an icebreaker before a week. Whether you want to stay. So that's the email the captain got this afternoon. So just for your context, this is some of the radar imagery which we immediately looked at thanks to Stefan has some excellent software which enables us to look at up-to-date imagery. This imagery is already about 12 hours old. And if you can't see, this is sea ice. This is the blue area here. I'll just show that again. There's a lot of cloud, which does sort of show up as a ghostly sort of white layer there. But that is approximately the extent of the sea ice. Greasefjord is over here on the left, and that's the way out. That is, let's zoom in. So this is the Canadian Ice Service's charts, just in a more generalized sense. But the purple there shows old multi-year ice, so thick, heavy stuff, which we are powerless against basically. Really closing off Jones Sound. This is Lady Anne Strait down here. So we'll zoom in a little bit closer. There is the coast of Devon Islands. Here is the extent of the sea ice, and that gap in this image, which is 12 hours old, is about 10 nautical miles. Approximately that section is uncharted, so that gives us about 6 nautical miles to play with. As of about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, a new image, which I didn't get in time to put in here, showed it having drifted even closer. So we now only have about a 4 nautical mile gap. So we are running on 3 engines, sparing no horses, burning fuel, and gunning for that gap, basically. Getting out of Jones Sound while we can. This, of course, is Coburg Island, where the bird colony was that we tried to get to some days ago. It is with genuine heartfelt sorrow that I have to tell you that we're no longer going to Coburg Island. Coburg Island is here, on the wrong side of the ice. So Coburg Island is there. I'm really sorry. I really wanted to go and give Coburg Island a second go. The wind forecast was looking favourable, but the ice, I meant to put a picture of like the movie poster for Jaws up, just when you thought it was safe to get back in the water. We've come back from Axel Heiberg. It's like, yay, the ice conditions were fantastic. We managed to get there. We came back. Everything was great. We saw polar bears on ice. The ice is totally in our favour. Okay, now let's head east. Oh crap. Yeah, we didn't really see this one coming, but fortunately the Coast Guard did. So, all ships get out of Jones Sound. And if you look off the stern now, you'll see another expedition vessel called the National Geographic Endurance, whom are also going this way really fast. So that's mass exodus from Jones Sound basically, and as Nate just said, like maybe it's two vessels, but up here that constitutes a mass exodus because there aren't that many of us. So we are not alone in exiting the Jones Sound area. So now, of course, it's a very narrow gap, and the ice is still drifting, so the gap is probably narrowing further the more time passes. There is a chance that it could be tight. If it gets tight, then you may find the vessel slowing and captain is entirely prepared to drop the Wasp again and scan the uncharted waters off the coast of Devon Island to get by. I don't think that's likely to happen at this stage, but it is a possibility. So yeah, tomorrow might look like this, or it might look like this. This is more likely at this stage because we got the information in time and we are on our way out. So my expectation is that tomorrow will be a day at sea as we head back down to Lancaster Sound in the general direction of Resolute and of course one or two opportunities that are available to us in that area. So we are departing the high Canadian Arctic and heading just to the high Canadian Arctic at this stage. So what does the weather look like for our passage? Let's assume that we get past the ice tendril, which is threatening to ensnare us. Let's assume that we get by out to Baffin Bay on the way around to Lancaster Sound. What does the weather look like? Well, this is at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. We're all things going to plan. We should be in this kind of vicinity. Greens and blues, that's not too bad at all. Then it gets a little bit windier. So this is like 3 p.m. tomorrow, coming around probably by around that time. Still not too bad. Orange isn't the end of the world. It kind of blows through. So there is a patch of wind there where we might feel it a bit on the outer decks for sure. I don't anticipate the vessel really heeling tremendously. And as for the waves, etc., we're only looking at about sort of 2 meters, like 6 foot thereabouts. So I don't think we have anything to be too concerned about in terms of sea state, although there is a little bit of wind. I don't think we're really going to feel it all that much. So that's the scope.